Good afternoon and welcome to this webinar, 6 Ways to Rev Up Your Partner Program in 2019, brought to you by Channel Partners. I'm Lona Gary, Editor-in-Chief for Channel Futures and Channel Partners, and I'll be your moderator. As we begin, let me explain how you can participate in today's presentation. If at any time you have difficulties with audio or with advancing of the slides, hit F5 to refresh your webcast console. If you experience technical difficulties that F5 doesn't solve, please press the Help button on your player console to receive assistance. We welcome your questions during today's event. To submit a question to our presenter, simply type it at any time during the presentation into the Q&A window on the right side of your screen and then hit Submit. I'll add it to the queue and we'll answer as many questions as possible during the Q&A session following the main presentation. Please also be aware that today's session is being recorded and it will be available on the Channel Partners website beginning tomorrow. We will notify you by email when the archive is available. Today's webinar is sponsored by Mindmatrix. At this point, let me introduce today's presenter, Harbinder Kara. Harbinder is CEO of Mindmatrix. He has more than 20 years of experience in channel and sales enablement. He has also provided consulting services to such organizations as Southwest Airlines, Nationwide Insurance, IBM, Siemens, and Citibank. He holds a master's degree in information networking from Carnegie Mellon University and a master's degree in computer engineering from Florida Atlantic University. So with that, let's turn things over to Harbinder. Please take it away.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Harbinder Kara, CEO founder of Mindmatrix. So today's topic, which I'm going to cover, is all about driving partner engagement using PRM and sales enablement technologies. Let me just first start with giving a high-level overview of who we are, Mindmatrix. So Mindmatrix, we provide one platform for the direct and the channel, depending upon your sales model. A lot of companies sell through direct, and a lot of companies sell through channel or a combination of both. So we provide one platform that caters to both sides of sales. So we started this company almost 20 years ago. From a partner enablement perspective, so we provide partner relationship management tool, partner marketing, that is helping partners sell to, through, for, with partner marketing, and partner sales enablement. All these different technologies, and on top of that, we provide services to drive partner engagement and adoption. Let's start with, what is partner engagement? Let's try to define partner engagement. Based on our experience, what we have found that, on an average, typical partner engagement is between 8 to 20%, depending upon the type of organization, how you sell, and what tools and services you have put in place. That is something very prevalent across the board. Now, the important thing is, from a definition perspective, what is the meaning of a partner engagement? Now, the partner engagement, you can look at different aspects, really starting from, how engaged, the partners are, if they're actually interacting with your brand. Are they actively participating with your partner programs? I'm going to just skip slides here. Somehow I got reset. And if the partners are actively marketing and selling your product or services. And this is really how you can define partner engagement. And partner engagement is one of the key challenges that everybody is facing today. Okay? Somehow this slide is keep on going back and forth. And this is one of the challenges that everybody is facing. So as part of my webinar today, I'm going to be talking about how do you drive this engagement, how do you help your partners from marketing and selling perspective. And so now just look at from in some of the challenges faced by partners. Yeah, that is important. So I'm going to look at from what are the challenges faced by partners, then we look at how the vendors can address those challenges. So the first one is more focused on visibility. So partners who are engaged with you, they would like to have a lot more visibility. They would like to understand how their deals and opportunities are being worked on. So especially more on the co-sell model perspective and how much commission they have earned from an order they have placed. They would like to have complete visibility across the board from a lead to revenue. So that is really something very important from a partner's perspective. The second thing that we have seen from a partner's perspective, a lot of these partners, they lack sales and marketing tools and resources, and they need a lot of help, especially from a content perspective. So depending upon the size of partners, a lot of these partners don't have a lot of good content, or they don't have the good sales and marketing tools. And as you can see, most of the partners, they're working in the business and not on the business. And especially if you're dealing with MSPs or smaller VARs and integrators, and usually it's a one-person show and they don't have a marketing person or a sales resource, so they're so busy working in the business, not on the business. That's one of the things that you will find a lot of these partners are facing today. And then the other important part is, sometimes it's very hard to do business with a vendor. And so depending upon how the vendor programs are set up and how the product pricing is set up, sometimes it's not that easier to do business. And this is one of the classic problems. A lot of times all these partners are facing today, they have access to multitude of different partner portals and resources. So you may be selling HP product, you have access to HP partner portal, you may have access to Microsoft partner portal, Dell partner portal, and so they have multitude of these partner portals, and that's one of the challenges that each of these partners are having. So they need to jump to one partner portal to another to basically do business with different vendors. Now, let's look at how different ways the PRM, partner relationship management technology, and sales enablement technologies helping driving partner engagement. So what I'm going to do is cover these high-level 6 points and then get into the details that how each of these different elements help drive partner engagement. So enablement technologies such as sales enablement, partner marketing, and PRM definitely provide a lot more partner visibility, how partners are engaged with your brand. So one of the important things is from a visibility perspective, so these define the key metrics that how you can measure how engaged the partners are. The second part is more focused around streamlining partner interaction with vendors and providing real-time information about the orders and the commissions to partners. And that's another important aspect. The third part is more focused around improving the vendor-partner communication. That is important. So if you have a new product launch announcement, so how do you improve that? So making sure the vendors and partners are communicating effectively. And the other thing that from a technology perspective is really comes down to effective training and onboarding of your partners. And that's the key. So when you bring a new partner on board, how do you basically train them on your product and services and providing a more repeatable onboarding process and scalable process that you can make it available to rest of your partner organization, and then minimizing the burden on your marketing resources. Typically, marketing resources are working and the channel managers are working to onboard these new partners. So how do you can create this process more repeatable and automated? So that's one of the things that these PRM technologies will allow you to do so. The fifth point is more focused around enabling your partners how to sell and market. That's a very, very important. Partners need help in selling and marketing your products and services. So how do you help them do that? And the last piece is more about, and this is really one of the key elements about driving partner engagement, is bring the tools and technologies to your partners versus they coming to you. So the environment they're comfortable using, for example, if the partners have their own CRM and PSA, they're working ConnectWise or Autotask, they have Zoho, bring your tools and resources to them versus they coming to your portal. That definitely drives partner engagement. So Just a little bit, Maria Chen is the analyst at Sirius Decision, and this is really one of the things that she talks about is, in order to drive partner engagement, you have to measure partner engagement consistently, and that's the key. If you're not measuring it, if you can't measure, you can't fix the problem. So now let's talk about how do you measure partner engagement. So partner engagement, the way we look at it is, so we kind of divide into two components. One is the external engagement of the partner with your brand. That is, if the partners are coming to your website, opening your product launches, and emails, attending your webinars, that's the external engagement of the partner with your brand. And then is the internal engagement of the brand with your brand is, that is, if they're logging into the partner portal. Are they consuming assets? Have they gone through training and certification? Have they registered any leads or opportunities? So that is the internal engagement of the partner with your brand. So if the combination of external and internal that gives you a baseline, you can build a scoring metrics and tells you which partner is actually engaged with your brand or not. And providing that real-time stats and report back to your channel managers, to CAMs, so they have complete visibility of the partners they're managing. So if I'm managing partners in EMEA or APAC or Northeast region, so if I could see the partners who are really engaged, typically this is a leading indicator which partner is actually going to be producing for you or not. And then you can act on it. And that's the key. So if you know which partner is actually engaged early on and who's not, and then you can help and assist those partners who are not engaged, that can definitely drive sales and also help drive further partner engagement with your brand. The other part is more focused around reducing vendor partner conflicts. So that is really comes down to lead registration, deal registration. And so that is really important. So once the partners are registering deals and opportunities, and also making sure that it minimizes the conflict if you have internal sales teams, and also reduces the conflict if other partners are working on similar deals. So that's the key. But also the important part is, once they have registered a deal, especially if you're doing a co-sell model or any registering an opportunity, partners would like to get a sense where their deal or lead stands in terms of a sales cycle. So having that visibility back to partners in real time, that's the key. So that information can come from your CPQ engine, can come from ERP platform, can come from your CRM, bringing all the data back into the partner portal where the partners are logging in, and they can see exactly that, hey, I registered a deal, and now I can see it got converted in an opportunity, and it got converted, and I can see how much commission that I've earned. Okay. So I can, I can see all that. So that's a very important aspect of, of the partner portal and the technology that brings all the pieces together. The other part is streamlining the communication between vendors and the partners. And effective communication is the key. So the notification, if you're doing a new product launch, if you're doing, a new product update, making sure the partners are aware of all the new things that you're doing, or if bug fixes, or any enhancement, or any announcement, streamlining the communication on a timely basis, and also measuring it. And measuring in a sense that who is responding, who's looking, who's, how they're interacting with your corporate communication, and then providing that insight to your CAMs, who have the complete visibility, how their partners are interacting with your corporate communication. That's a very important aspect that can help drive partner engagement across the board. So the other aspect is, as we talked about creating proper onboarding and training processes in place. So making sure the partners are trained onboarded properly, and especially nowadays if it's all about solution selling, and depending upon the products people are selling, so it's all about solution. So teaching, training people from solution sell perspective, how all the different partners, your product come together with your alliance partners' products together. So having an effective training and onboarding process, and that's the key. And a lot of times you have to re-onboard your partner. You have to retrain your partner on an ongoing basis. So these are some of the key components of sales enablement and the PRM tools. So that that has inbuilt LMS, or it can integrate with the LMS that you're using. But the trick is making sure that your partners are trained, onboarded, and on a timely basis, and re-onboarded as you introduce new products and services. So now just look at something very, very important from a partner engagement perspective is sales enablement. So that is really starts at the bottom of the funnel. Now, the important thing is that you need to enable your partners how to sell. This is where the rubber meets the road, and this is where you can help monetize their existing book of business. If you do not help partners help sell, it becomes more like a leaky funnel, because you may give them leads on top if you don't help them how to sell. And that's one of the important areas that, from a driving partner engagement, is to help partners sell. And it really comes down to what to say, how to say, and when to say. This is really, what happens is in your organization, few people in the company know what is the best way to sell your product or services. How do you take that knowledge and a process and make it repeatable and make it available to all your partners? So that is important in form of playbooks, making sure the partners have the playbooks available. So if you could actually make them, help them sell, you would see right away, from an ROI perspective, you will see the ROI, because now you brought a new partner on board. The reason the fact you brought a new partner on board, they have an existing book of business. And this is one of the common mistakes a lot of vendors make, that they really don't try to enable them from a sales perspective. And they try to help them from a marketing perspective first. And we're saying that, hey, help them from a sales point of view, show them some success, help them get some new customers, or they can upsell to existing book of business. Then you give them new leads, and that's an important aspect that will help drive partner engagement, because now they have seen success selling your product and services. Yeah. And that is the key to drive partner engagement, enabling them, helping them to sell your products, and service, so taking your internal sales process and making it available, and to all the way to, and this is one of the things that we have found, that internally a lot of times, there's a lot of knowledge, and that knowledge is not being properly shared with the rest of the partner organization. So that's something that's very important in terms of sales playbooks and solution selling module, that you can make that available to your partners. Now, one of the important things here is to driving partner engagement is, partners are using, for example, Outlook or Gmail plugin, Gmail, different email programs or different CRMs. So the important thing is that how you can bring your tools and assets and product information into their Outlook, into their Gmail, into their ConnectWise or AutoCast they're using. So that way the partner doesn't have to leave that environment, and they can still consume your assets, use your tools within ConnectWise or within their CRM, and that really drives partner engagement. That is something very important to look for. That's the key, bringing tools and resources to them. And that's some of the things that, all the different PRMs and partner marketing and partner sales enablement tools will allow you to provide these different plugins that'll help you drive partner engagement. Now, the next part is more focused around partner marketing. So I'm going to spend some time on this. So this is really, we're helping amplify your corporate messaging, your information, and you're enabling these partners from 4 different aspects. We call those 2, through, 4 with partner marketing. So the 2 partner marketing is, so in this case, you're basically marketing 2 partners. Through partner marketing is you're giving them tools, campaigns, templates that they can actually upload their contact list, and they can do campaigns to their to prospects in their own market. And so that is the true partner marketing. And that could be email campaigns, social media automation, landing pages. And if you're trying to build a referral partner program, so giving them those personalized referral links, so then you can basically do proper lead attribution, and you can compensate your partners for all the leads they have referred back to you. Okay. So that is part of the through partner marketing. Then is the for partner marketing. So for partner marketing is more focused around giving them campaign, basically in for, you're running the campaigns on their behalf. Because a lot of times the partners may not have a resource to run these campaigns, so you're actually running the campaigns for them. And also you're providing content syndications. You're basically syndicating your product or any thought leadership content that you have. You want to push it out to your partner's website, to their blog, to the social media places. So that really helps amplify your corporate messaging using partner marketing tools. Now, in this case, as you can see here, you're actually helping your partners generate leads, help them build their brand in the local market, and that's the key. So more you enable them from a marketing and sales point of view, and that would really help drive partner engagement. And some of these tools will help you do, lead notification, lead alerts. That is really helping partners from a sales and marketing point of view. So a lot of these partners, they don't have any MarTech stack. They don't have any marketing and sales tools available to them. Now, by providing them with these tools, you're really helping them. And that's the key. Not just helping them from a product perspective, but also providing them a content that they can utilize to grow their business. So one of the things that we have seen is, even if the partners have the content, they may have the tools, still they need help in actually executing campaigns. They need help in terms of somebody who can edit their existing newsletter, somebody who can modify their blog, somebody who can scrub their list. And that is one of the things that comes under concierge services. So that's important. So how you actually help your partners from a services point of view, and this is something you can subsidize through your MDF funds. So you can actually tie in your MDF funds with the concierge services. And a lot of times what happens is, let's say you have a plan that you want to go after a certain vertical market, and you allocate certain funds for, let's say you want to go after healthcare and sector, and you can take some of the MDF funds and align the concierge services to go with that and say, hey, we're going to go after the healthcare sector. This is what we want, like all the partners, to go after this market. So we will provide X amount of dollars, but we will help scrub partners list, doctors, whatever, going after doctors, and we'll edit the newsletter that is really geared towards the healthcare market. So now you're taking your corporate plan, the corporate vision that you have, and aligning with the strategy at the partner level and making it very tactical. So now that really helps success across the board and also drives the partner engagement. And so, there are a lot of benefits in the concierge services, aligning your corporate vision, and then also helping partners build a brand in the local market, and that's a key. So a lot of these, again, helping them with the newsletter, scrubbing their list, and that helps drive partner engagement. So now just look at from some of the top takeaways from today's presentation. So the first one is, in order to drive partner engagement, you need to have a baseline. because a lot of times we have found that people have no way to measure partner engagement. So people look at, how much money that, revenue, partners have brought in last year, and that usually becomes the baseline for measuring how many partners are engaged with your brand. But that is actually after the fact. So there are a lot of key leading indicators that would actually help to know which partner is actually engaged, who is not engaged, and then you can, instead of you being reactive, you be proactive in this case, and that will help drive the partner engagement. The second part is more focused around making sure the partners have a lot more visibility from a lead to revenue journey perspective. And that's the key. If you're doing a co-sell, they're registering opportunities so partners can upload their leads or deals, and you're working together, they would like to get a complete visibility from how the lead got converted in opportunity, the status of that opportunity, and what happened to the opportunity after that, how much commission they have earned, and orders have been placed, all that stuff, providing that information back to partners in real time, and that is a very important element that will help drive partner engagement. And the third piece is all about training, and proper onboarding of partners. Now, if you are selling complex products, solution selling and training becomes a very important aspect, and also automating the onboarding process. And so basically that you can provide a re-onboard partners on an ongoing basis depending upon how you guys sell or market your products. The fourth point is all about making sure the partners have the right tools, right marketing and sales tool to sell your product. Typically what happens is you provide all these great tools to your folks internally to organization, partners who are miles away from you, and that tool is not, the process, the strategy is not being provided to partners. And so that's the important part here is that you have the knowledge internally, productize that knowledge, and make it repeatable and make that available to your partners. Give them the tools from a sales and marketing perspective, and that would help partner engagement, and also they'll help drive sales. And the last piece is focus around bring the tools to them, as they have access to multitude of partner portals and technologies out there. And if you want the partners to be engaged with your brand, sell your product, bring your tools and services to them, versus for them to come to you. It makes sense to bring all this stuff to your partners. And combination of all this, that will help drive partner engagement. Thank you. So now, if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Thanks, Harbinder. So as we get into questions, please take a moment to fill out the evaluation at the bottom of your screen. So Harbinder, one of the things that Channel Partners, Channel Futures, consistently preaches is that there are three pillars to a good partner program, right? Recruiting, recognizing, and rewarding. So it sounds like these tools can help bring in partners. They're attractive. You're recognizing them by giving them these capabilities. How do you see successful suppliers rewarding partners who use these tools and who do so well?
No, it's an excellent question. So the incentive management system, so we have, like in our, most of the tools that provide the incentive system in the platform. So because the incentive, how you reward your partners and based on the behavior. It all depends what kind of behavior you want to develop and how you want, and the reward system goes based on the type of behavior you want partners to develop. Okay, some vendors will like partners, the behavior around lead registration, opportunity management. They want to reward partners based on how much they sell, or they're based on if they take an effective training program or not, or on training and certification they have taken. So you can tie in some of the the spiffs or the incentive system, tie in with some of the partner behavior that you want to develop in the platform. So a lot of these PRMs do have a very strong incentive management system in place, and that basically drives their partner engagement.
Interesting, yeah. So so as we see new types of products emerging, like software as a service, it's not such a straightforward, we're going out and we're selling, right? We're seeing more consultants, more solution selling. So, for example, one attendee asked that says we don't have partners sell our SaaS solution. Instead, we do joint marketing efforts such as Facebook Lives, sponsoring of their events, things that are centered on the partner, how they want to go to market. Did you have suggestions for that model?
So yeah, do you mind repeating the question? So basically, so what you're asking is that partners have there are different types of products and the different ways to market. That is, from a social selling perspective, solution selling perspective. So there are different ways to market and sell. Is that a question? Everybody, there's different ways of doing that. So how do you incorporate different ways of sales methodologies and marketing methodologies together and help partners? Is that the question? I just want to make sure I understand the question correctly.
Well, the product that they offer is software as a service. So they focus on joint marketing efforts, like Facebook Lives, sponsoring events, and being there. So things that you're doing with the partner as opposed to enabling them to do.
That's right. So that is part of the partner marketing. So as I mentioned, there are 4 things of partner marketing: to, through, for, and with. So the with part is that you're doing actually with them, like joined webinars. So you're doing, so that is right. So that is part of the partner marketing capability. That is that you can provide that from a to, through, and for, with, all the four things. So that is absolutely part of partner marketing.
And what if they go even further, where it's a real shared sale, a partner reseller model, where they don't ask the partners to sell the software? That was his question, that they are very, very collaborative. So that should also work as well in that model?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we are finding, so this is you asked a very good question. So if you look back, people used to do deal reg, the old traditional way of deal registration. Okay. Now with the software as a service, all the tech companies, everybody's in a very collaborative co-sell model. Okay. So people are working together. So people are registering lead. And as soon as the lead is registered, then you have internal SMEs and internal CAMs, everybody working together with the partner on that account. So, and that is a very collaborative selling happening, not just on partner side, but also if you bring alliance partners together. So if you're selling your product in conjunction with SAP, if you have a bunch of other alliance partners, how you do collaborative selling with your alliance partners and with the partners, that is absolutely facilitated as part of the technologies that we support. So the collaborative selling is becoming huge. Now, the important part is also the part of collaborative selling is the outcome. So what happens, if that opportunity has converted into something, something has happened, and everybody on the team would like to know that, and making sure that from a partner to an alliance partner, everybody is aware and they made aware the status of that lead and opportunity, and that's another important component, is it comes down to visibility.
Right. Good. So another listener asked, do battle cards serve a purpose? What's your opinion on battle cards?
So, okay. So on my opinion on battle cards?
Mm-hmm.
So battle card is a very important, so that is part of the sales playbooks. Okay. So, and that comes down to sales enablement and again, these battle cards and the objections and all that stuff, typically, again, we have found that vendors don't do a very good job making sure that information is readily available to partners. And then that's one of the things that we try to push is it comes to our asset recommendation engine. So depending upon the type of opportunity, the sales stage you're working in, and providing the right kind of battle card or asset to partners. And that's the key, because you may have these different, lots of different content that you have built. How do you provide this information to your partners in a most actionable format so that they can take some action on it? So yes, but one thing that we have found is a lot of times people don't even have proper battle cards built, and so the content also becomes an important aspect here. So that's content drives this enablement. So making sure that one of the things that we try to do as part of our enablement setup process, that we try to do inventory, asset inventory. We look at the sales process and see what content that is available and try to map that content to the buyer's journey and sales process, and then see what is missing, what is not missing, and then go back to marketing, and because marketing is actually the one that drives the enablement part of it from a content perspective. And a lot of times product marketing and product people in the product side, they have a lot of that information on solutions they're selling, and also on the competitive analysis they have in the battle cards they're responsible for creating. So we try to bring all the pieces together and identify gaps as a part of our initial setup and rollout, and define what is missing so we can provide the necessary information to partners as part of the enablement.
Right. So like anything else, it depends on the quality of the content.
That is right.
Yep. And I know how hard it is to get good quality content as an editor. Right? It's tough. So another question is, we sell through MSPs. So is enabling an MSP model different from enabling someone who sells more through a reseller or agency model?
See, the MSPs are a little bit different. The MSPs are a little bit different in the sense that depending upon MSPs, a lot of these guys are one man, they got very limited resources. That is number one. A lot of MSPs don't have too many they don't have a marketing person. Sometimes the owner is the salesperson and the marketing person. And content is a huge challenge for MSPs. Okay. So, and then the other challenge for MSPs, most of the MSPs are, folks are techies. They're technical folks, and they don't know how to sell and market. So they need A, content, good quality content. B, they need, good technology. Then also they need guidance and coaching and how to market and sell your product. So they need all. So MSP is one that they require all those different things. They need content, concierge services, and they need technology from a toolkit perspective, and the guidance. The other part is the guidance. So that's something that we have found. The MSPs, who are basically, there are thousands of MSPs, and so that's the resource that to help these guys need, because they're working in the business and not on the business. And that is one of the things that we have found, and vendors are having that struggle, that how do you enable them, enable their partners who are traditionally MSPs to sell their product and services.
Right. So, there's a lot of competition for MSPs as well as all good partners. So what are some of the ways that you see suppliers keep their partners engaged and not have them drift off to the next supplier or next shiny object that's out there?
Oh, that's right. So that is really, so then obviously there's a, whole new topic on the product pricing, product delivery, that is outside, what Mindmatrix does. But again, the vendors that actually provide better compensation system for partners, they're providing better delivery of their products, easy to sell, the product itself, not so. So obviously, that's one of the areas where MSPs are looking at, is where they can make most money. They can make most recurring revenue, and in a very easy way. And so that is one side. So vendors have the responsibility to make sure whatever products and security products or backup products they're selling, they got to make it easier for MSPs to sell their products from a technology perspective. and the delivery of that technology to their end customer. And also they have enough margins that these MSPs can make decent revenue on an ongoing basis. So that is, if that part is taken care of, then it really comes down to the enablement of these MSPs to sell your product. So that is really from a marketing perspective and a sales perspective, helping them, giving them sales and marketing assets. So, and then also, another area we have found are MDF funds. So we have found that the vendors have so much MDF funds which don't go, properly utilized, and because they have made it a little bit harder for MSPs or partners to use those MDF funds. So that's another area. So how do you make it easier for your partners to use your MDF funds? And that's one. Then also, if you're giving them the MDF funds and making sure there's a proper ROI on MDF funds, and making both parties accountable. And some of our clients, what they have done is they've tied in MDF funds with they did lunch and learn, but they're also asking partners to register, upload their opportunities or leads they have gotten from those lunch and learn sessions. And so then they can see that, hey, we spent $1,000 on lunch and learn, we got 30 leads. And they can also track out of 30 leads how many got converted in opportunity. But they're trying to make it easier to give the money away, but at the same time, they're asking the partners to provide something in return. And so then they can also quantify if some of those events are actually working or not working. So the people are doing many different things to drive that, and but again, really comes down to the better, vendors with a better product, easier to sell, easier to deploy, and that makes the most money. So that's where the partners go.
Yep, have good product and good content. We've seen a lot of innovation with MGF. We just spoke with one supplier that has no rules, kind of lets them do whatever they want, just to see what happens. What are some other trends that you're seeing? So as we go toward 2019, what are you seeing your more innovative vendors do? For example, the move away from tiers, right? Rewarding value, not just volume of selling. What other trends are you seeing in the channel?
So the trends we see in the channel today, so one big trend, obviously, we see here, especially, I can talk about many. So one is, with the IoT and what's happening is the solution selling, huge. And so they want to educate, train partners from a solution selling perspective. Showing that, hey, this is a product and how it fits into a bigger solution. And so that is a one piece from a training and sales perspective and a marketing perspective, all around solution-centric selling. And that is becoming more and more common that I have found that is happening. That is number one. Second, obviously, let's go back to the MDF funds. And there's a huge trend. That is the trend that, make it easier for partners to get access to those, those funds. Number two, and have some kind of input or feedback coming from the partners, not just submitting the receipts and say, hey, I've spent this much money on lunch and learn, but telling them, hey, here's a campaign we want you to utilize. B, when you get a list, upload the list. That we're not going to see the list, but at least we know that you got 40, 50 leads, and then they can see out of these 40 leads how many got converted in an opportunity. So there's a way to track it. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a to track the money that you're spending. Okay, so now the other area that we're finding a lot of vendors are doing is tying in the MDF funds with the concierge services. So, and making sure that they have a corporate plan for 2019, aligning the corporate plan, and the concierge services via MDF funds make it more prescriptive and actionable in the local market. So that really helps steer the ship in the right direction. And that is another direction that we have seen that people are, going in that direction. And another big thing from a corporate marketing perspective, and I can tell you the big trend is, like, if you think about corporate marketing and marketing in general, is responsible for managing assets and providing campaigns and all that stuff. But they end up supporting the internal folks if you have the direct, and then you have the channel. And what happens is traditionally there'd been everything in silos. Channel is in a separate silo, the internal folks in a separate silo. As a result, a lot of inefficiencies that this creates supporting multiple sales models. So this is one of the big trends we're finding is marketing and saying, hey, the stuff that works internally, I want to have my channel to be on the same platform and I can make them available so that way I don't have to duplicate all my efforts. And so that way I can also see the performance and the effectiveness of all my sales and marketing assets across the board.
Right.
So that's another trend from a marketing perspective. So having content silos, having everything reside in one and have everybody access to the same content. But, if you're a partner, everything gets co-branded based on your branding standard, but it's the same content.
Right, right. Well, content's expensive to produce and difficult, so that makes perfect sense.
So.
All right. So any final thoughts before we wrap up, or calls to action for the listeners?
If any of folks attending the webinar today, they feel that the channel engagement is one of the key challenges you guys are facing, we'd love to hear from you and see how Mindmatrix, we can help solve your partner engagement challenges and using our innovative tools and technologies and services. So come and visit our website, www.mindmatrix.net. Again, thank you for your time listening to my presentation today.
Well, thank you. So we're out of time. So I'd like to thank Harbinder Kara of Mindmatrix for an outstanding presentation. Please follow up if you have additional questions that we didn't get to. And on behalf of channel partners and Mindmatrix, have a productive remainder of the day. Thank you.